Have you ever felt like your feelings, especially love or lust, were making decisions for you instead of the other way around? It's like you're not in the driver's seat anymore. What if I told you there's ancient wisdom out there that could help clear things up and put you back in control? That's where Miyamoto Musashi comes in. He was a legendary samurai who had a lot to say about not letting lust or love push you around. In this video, we're diving into Musashi's advice on keeping those intense feelings in check. We'll break down his teachings into practical steps you can use to stay focused, make smarter choices, and even improve your relationships, all without getting overwhelmed by emotions. But before we jump into it, I have the perfect tool for our journey of discovery, our sponsor, Shortform. You know how there are so many books out there you want to read but just don't have the time? Shortform helps with that. They take big books and make them easy to understand quickly, kind of like having a friend who reads a ton and tells you all the best parts. Shortform covers all kinds of topics, stuff like getting better at your job, figuring out your health, and even big ideas about the world. And they just rolled out this new thing, Shortform AI, where you click a button and get a quick summary of almost anything you're reading online. If you want to give it a try, I've got a deal for you. Use my link, shortform.com/SOW, and you can start for free. Plus, you'll get a 20% discount on your annual subscription if you decide to stick with it. It's a cool way to learn a lot without having to read a book cover to cover. So please give it a shot and see how much you can learn, not only about Musashi, but much more. So, let's get into what Musashi really thought about emotions, especially the tricky ones like love and lust. He believed strongly that you shouldn't let these feelings take the wheel and drive your actions or decisions. Why? Because for Musashi, the path of a warrior, and really any person striving for greatness, requires a clear head and a steady heart. He saw emotions as potential obstacles that could distract you from your goals if you let them take control. Now, you might wonder, what's so bad about feeling love or lust? Well, Musashi wasn't saying these emotions are bad. Instead, he was all about not letting them cloud your judgment or lead you into making choices that stray from your real goals and who you want to be. It's like when you're really focused on a project or a personal goal, and then intense feelings come in and suddenly you're off track, maybe doing things that don't align with your true path. This advice isn't just ancient wisdom, it's super relevant today. Think about it. We live in a world full of distractions and quick emotional fixes, from social media to all sorts of temptations. Applying Musashi's teachings means practicing self-discipline, learning to recognize when love or lust is pulling you away from your path, and making conscious choices that keep you aligned with your goals and personal growth. So, the wisdom behind Musashi's words. It's about understanding the power of our emotions and taking control back. It's a call to self-discipline and staying true to our path no matter how strong the waves of love and lust might be. This way, we're not just aimlessly floating along, led by our feelings. We're steering our own ship, headed towards the life we truly want. With Musashi's wisdom in mind, let's talk about how we can maintain clarity and focus, even when our emotions are doing their best to knock us off course. First off, recognize the signs. Just like a samurai needs to read the battlefield, we need to read our emotions. Notice when you're making decisions based more on how you feel in the moment than on what's good for you in the long run. This awareness is your first step towards self-discipline. Next, let's borrow a technique from both Musashi and modern psychology, mindfulness. When you find yourself swept up by feelings of love or lust, pause. Take a moment to just breathe and be present. This pause can give you the space to choose your next action instead of just reacting. It's about creating a moment of choice between feeling something and acting on it. Now, how about setting some boundaries? Musashi knew the importance of knowing your environment and adapting. In our case, it might mean setting boundaries for ourselves about how much we let these emotions influence our decisions. This could be deciding not to make any big decisions in the heat of the moment, or when you're feeling particularly vulnerable. Journaling can also be a powerful tool. Write down what you're feeling and why you think you're feeling it. This reflection can help you understand your emotions better and see them for what they are, temporary states, not commanders of your fate. Lastly, don't go it alone. Even Musashi, for all his solitude, understood the value of learning from others. Talk to friends, family, or even a therapist about what you're going through. Sometimes, just voicing what's in our hearts can help us see things more clearly and make decisions that align with our true path. By applying Musashi's principles to our modern lives, we can navigate the stormy seas of love and lust with a steady hand, keeping our focus on our goals and continuing our journey towards personal growth and self-mastery. Now let's explore how to put the advice into action and draw some parallels to further emphasize the relevance of these strategies. For mindfulness, set aside a few minutes each day for mindfulness meditation. Focus on your breath and observe your thoughts and feelings without judgment. This practice strengthens your ability to stay present and not be swept away by emotions. Just as a samurai remains calm and centered in the midst of battle, mindfulness helps you maintain inner peace in emotional turmoil. Reflect through journaling. Create a daily or weekly ritual of writing in a journal. Reflect on instances when love or lust influenced your decisions and how you felt about those decisions afterward. Use these reflections to identify patterns and areas for growth. Musashi wrote the Book of Five Rings, reflecting on his battles and strategies. Similarly, journaling serves as your personal book of insights and reflections, guiding you toward emotional mastery. Boundaries. Define what emotional boundaries mean to you and communicate them clearly in your relationships. This could involve how quickly you choose to become emotionally or physically intimate with someone, or how you manage time spent with a partner versus time spent on personal growth. Just as Musashi would set boundaries on the battlefield, knowing when to advance and when to retreat, you too can set boundaries in your emotional life to protect your well-being and stay true to your path. Embrace continuous learning. Adopt a mindset of continuous learning when it comes to emotions. Read books, attend workshops, or even take courses on emotional intelligence and relationship skills. Musashi's pursuit of mastery was lifelong, not just in martial arts, but in painting, writing, and other disciplines. Embrace a similar pursuit of knowledge in the realm of emotions. By actively practicing these strategies, you'll not only navigate the complexities of love and lust with more clarity and focus, but also embark on a deeper journey of self-discovery and emotional mastery. Just like Musashi's path of continuous improvement, this journey doesn't have a final destination, but each step forward enriches your life and relationships. Musashi's wisdom on mastering our emotions, especially those as potent as love and lust, doesn't stand in isolation. It's a thread that weaves through the fabric of philosophical thought across cultures and eras. From the Stoics like Marcus Aurelius, who preached the virtue of controlling one's reactions to external events, to modern psychologists emphasizing emotional regulation for mental health, the message is clear. Mastering your emotions is key to a fulfilled life. Marcus Aurelius, for instance, reminded us that we have power over our minds, not outside events. This Stoic mantra resonates with Musashi's teachings, advocating for a life led by reason and self-discipline over being swayed by fleeting emotions. Why has this principle stood the test of time? Because the benefits are undeniable. Emotional discipline frees us from the whims of impulsivity, allowing us to make decisions aligned with our deeper values rather than momentary desires. It enhances our decision-making by providing clarity, reducing regrettable choices made in the heat of passion. So how can we weave these diverse strands of wisdom into a cohesive approach to managing our emotions? Start by embracing self-awareness. Reflect on your emotional triggers and responses. Practice mindfulness, a technique as old as Buddhism and as contemporary as cognitive behavioral therapy, to stay present with your feelings without being overwhelmed by them. Cultivate the Stoic habit of focusing on what you can control, your reactions, not the emotions themselves. Implement regular check-ins with yourself. Are your decisions being guided by transient feelings or your core values? Foster resilience by exposing yourself to challenging situations in controlled amounts, building your emotional strength over time. And finally, engage in continuous learning, drawing from the wealth of philosophical and psychological insights available to us. By integrating the wisdom of Musashi with that of other philosophers and modern psychology, we can navigate the complexities of love and lust with a balanced approach that honors our emotions without letting them control us. This synthesis of ideas offers a roadmap to emotional maturity, where wisdom and self-mastery lead the way to a life of depth and fulfillment. Let me leave you with a thought-provoking reflection that captures the essence of our exploration. The way is in training. Musashi's simple yet profound statement reminds us that mastery, whether in the art of the sword or the realm of emotions, is a continual journey of learning, practicing, and growing. The path to emotional intelligence and self-discovery isn't found in a single moment of enlightenment, but in the daily commitment to understanding ourselves and our emotions more deeply.